Hey guys, my name is Viren and I work for Informatica. In this video, I'll show what happens when you register for an on-demand lab from Informatica University, and I'll be covering these topics. So what are on-demand registration emails? How would the on-demand user interface look? And what are the options available on UI? How can you start and stop VMs and access help links? And then lastly, I'll also talk about the threshold email. Let's go ahead and get started. So when you register for an on-demand course, you would receive an email which looks something like this. You can see that I've registered for an MDM multi-domain edition configuration lab, which is for 40 hours. And in the first part of the email, it shows you that this lab is available for 40 hours or 90 days, whichever comes first. Please note that if you've used up the 40 hours, there is no extension possible and there is no way to recover the image. So if you do require additional hours before you've used up the time, please send out an email or contact training@informatica.com and someone will be able to help you out with that. The second part of the email shows you how you can start your environment. By clicking here, it'll take you to the page where you can access the labs, and this is the part where it shows you how to stop your environment. So yeah, I mean when you start or stop the VM, it'll take at least 10 minutes, and please make sure that you refresh the browser if the status of the VM does not change. And in this below line, you can see that watch a quick video on how to access your VM environment, which is what we're talking about right now. In the email, you will also see your VM login credentials. This is left blank as of now, but you would have a password and a login for that. Here is another link where you can access your lab from. And below you can see there are quick links for frequently asked questions, additional assistance, and if you have any technical support, you can always contact us by clicking on the additional assistance and open a ticket with us. And someone from our technical support team will be able to assist you with that. So let's go ahead and click here on the lab environment. And we do recommend accessing your labs from Google Chrome. You can see that this is the lab and I'm accessing it from Mozilla Firefox as of now. We do recommend Google Chrome while accessing the labs. So you can see that this is an MDM multi-domain edition configuration lab, which is for 40 hours. And this is my name. And on the top right, you can see how many hours have been utilized and what are the time that is pending. And on the left, you can see that you can start the VM, and on the right, you can see quick links. This is the same links as mentioned in the email. We'll go through that in a little bit. And on the bottom, you can see that you have different tabs for courses, support videos, product documentations, etc. So on the courses section, you can see that whatever course you registered for, this has a recommendation of different courses that you can attend. You can go ahead and click here. It'll take you to a different tab wherein you can see what is available for this particular course and all the details, etc. And on the support videos section, you have different videos which will relate to the course that you've registered for. So for example, why MDM log files sometimes not created. If you click on it, it'll take you to a video which explains clearly on what is happening and what you can do to resolve that issue. And on the next tab, you can see a lot of product documentation related to the lab you have registered for. Just click on that. A PDF will open with all the tabs. You have all the data mentioned here. And then this is something which is related to product documentation. It'll take you to the same page as I've mentioned before. And then basically these are these also have how-tos for your lab. You can probably refer to this guide if you have any questions in between. And then lastly, you have a discussion forum wherein you can discuss with different customers taking the same lab, and they've answered all your questions here. This can help you out with your lab, and if you have any technical difficulties, all these sections might help you out or give you answers. Let's go ahead and power on the VM. You have two options. One is you can start from the blue button right here on the top right, and from the green button on the left here. And then you have two ways that you can access your lab. One is RDP and the other one is console. So please note that at least give it 10 minutes once you power on the VM. It might take around 10-15 minutes for the VM to come up, and this also depends on the course you have registered for. For this particular course, it will take around 10-15 minutes. So let me power on the VM now. So you can see that request to start VM has been acknowledged. Please wait for some time, and the VM will be up. As you can see that the VM has been started now, and the services which were grayed out before are now active. One is RDP and one is console. Before we get into the console, I wanted to also talk about the Get Help section of the quick links, where if you have any difficulty accessing the labs, or if you have any questions related to the technical support, you can always click here on the Get Help, and then you can submit a request. It'll ask you for your email address, contact information, priority, and the description. You can submit this, and someone from our support team will get back to you as soon as possible. And the rest of the links are pretty self-explanatory. One is the training, frequently asked questions, Informatica University group, which is a forum, and then the knowledge base articles. You can search for any product related questions. For example, if the MDM services are not working properly, you can just search for it and you would find documentation related to that. Success Academy is something where you can watch micro videos related to different products, and you can watch and learn based on your product registration. And then we have cancellation policy. All the FAQs have been answered there. And then the last one would be the Informatica network, where you can log into our network and browse for different functionalities within Informatica's network. Let's go ahead and click on console here, and we can see that the Windows is coming up. And on the top right, you can see 4 different options. One is the diagnostic test. This will give you a console experience test. If I run the test, you would see different tests, and I can see that HTML support, WebSocket connection is a pass. It would also check for the internet connection, and I can see that that's also a pass. If you have any network related issues, you can come over here and see if everything is working as expected before contacting the support team. And then I can also see there is a paste text. If you want to paste something from your desktop to this machine, you can always copy paste. And then the Control Alt Delete is a function where you can log the computer or use it for different purposes. And then this is an on-screen keyboard. If you have any issues with the keyboard on your laptop, you can always use this. So these are the 4 options, and on the top you can see that the application name and the VM name is shown up. Let's give it a few minutes for the console to come up. We can see that the console is ready. I'll click on Control Alt Delete to log in, and the password is provided in your email, and you could use that to log in. It would take a couple of minutes to come up. Please note that we would recommend using RDP over the console mode, because RDP has you can quickly connect to the RDP and then use the switch, bring on the services, and use the VM in a better way. As you can see that the Windows VM is up and everything is loading. This is how you connect to a console. let's go ahead and try connecting through RDP. I'll just click on RDP. You have two options. You can save the file if you're using it for if you're using multiple times. You can save the file and open it. Otherwise, you can directly open as well. Just connect. And also, we would recommend using the labs for a longer interval of time. These labs are designed to be used at a longer periods of time rather than using it for half an hour and then coming back and using it. I see that the remote access is not enabled. Let me check why that is happening. Okay, it came up. I just tried connecting it one more time and it came up. So let me log in. So it's a different account. Okay, let me check why this is happening. Okay, we are back, and I see that there was a VPN connected, and sometimes due to the VPN connection it works and it does not work, so I've just disabled it as of now. I can see that it's connecting now. I will go ahead and connect this. So the VM is coming up, and I've already signed in from the credentials that was provided to me in the email. So you can see that we have logged into the VM. I'll go ahead and close this, and you can see that the training hours utilized will be reflecting here, and it'll be updated every 1 hour. So please make sure you refresh your browser while checking your training hours. And also please make sure you stop the VMs completely before closing the browser. And once you click on stop, it might take a few minutes for the VMs to completely come to a halt. So when you click on stop, please wait for 10 minutes, refresh your browser, make sure it is stopped and not running, and then you can close the browser. And also you would receive an email for 75% completion of the lab. For example, this is a 40 hours lab and 75% would be 30 hours. If you've used up 30 hours of this particular lab, you would receive an email which looks something like this, saying that you've already used up 75% of the email, and you would receive usage summary of the lab. And then if you want to add additional hours, you can contact Informatica University and have them added. And below the quick links, this is similar to what we've seen on the UI and in the email. So this is it. This is how you can start and stop and manage your VMs from OnDemand Informatica University. Hope this will be helpful to you all. Have a good day. Thank you.